All right, so where was I? Y'all are my therapy session. This is my free therapy session. Or should I say, am I getting paid to go through therapy? It probably is a couple cents, but it's worth it, I guess. Better than nothing, or better than forking out of your pocket, I guess. All right, so where was I? Yeah, so I was at the part where, so I was with this dude, nice dude. He was great, but like I said, he wanted a green card, and I don't have a green card to give. So he up and basically said he couldn't do this anymore, and then ghosted me like that. At that point, I was in a bad space because he did it so abruptly, and again, his thing is I didn't do nothing wrong. He just wanted that. And the thing is, I didn't know that he wanted a green card while I was in the relationship. I knew that he said that there's nothing in Jamaica. He wanted to move to another country. The US was where he wanted to go to, right? Was what I thought. And there are so many ways to get to the United States where you don't need to get married to somebody. You can get a work visa and then sort yourself out that way. Or he wanted to go to Canada, and Canada, you can literally file for yourself and file for your family. So I didn't, I didn't know that he was about marriage to get a green card to another country. And so I didn't find that out until well after. Like, he was like, okay, he just upped and just, without warning, without anything, just be like, okay, that's it. I was like, what's going on? What did I do? Did I do something? Like, you start questioning yourself because everything was going so good, or so you thought. But then, no. And then I found out during the relationship, he was in communications with this woman from England, from England. And it was some family member that set him up with this woman. And he didn't know this woman. So he was basically ending us for a woman he knows nothing about. He just exchanged a few conversations with. And so he wanted to do that. I was like, okay, fine. Like I said, I don't have a green card for you, so do you, boo. If I said it didn't hurt, I'd be lying. Like, on the outside, I operated like it did not affect me, but on the inside, I was dying. I was like, why was not enough kind of situation. And it was just too much. Like, but at this point, I had a friend staying with me. I'm gonna say my girlfriend. It's not a girlfriend. He's actually a guy. He's gay. Um, he identifies as a she, so we're not gonna say he anymore moving forward. I'm just giving you the background so we don't get confused. So she was wonderful too, because by the time I got back, and I had my son with me, and he like split those and whatnot. I was here with basically by myself, and then she got into some like issues, and she needed a place to stay, and so I let her stay with me, which worked out pretty wonderful for me because when I started working again, she would assist me with my son. So she was basically my caregiver for my son. And so I love her. I still talk to her, like, yeah. So she was there when she came around. She was in her issue. I was helping out. So we basically kind of sort of what you would say trauma bond, I guess, because I basically gave her a place to stay because she didn't have one, and she was living with me for a hot minute. And so when I was going through this breakup, at this point, she started living with me. I wasn't really going to the guy's house anymore when she started living with me because, like I said, I had left the job, so I had no need to have my son be so far away from me. So I went and I got my son, and my son is back home with me, and I'm here with this friend. And so my relationship ended in that same time. Luckily, it ended in that time when I had her, because she was there to like hold my hand through it. She was there to like help me heal and help my heart heal. And at the same time, She ended up going through a breakup with the guy that she was with, and so we both was in a really rough place. Wait, is that somebody screaming? I don't know. I had to stop and listen to that for a second. So we basically was each other's shoulders to cry on, and we cried together. We just basically, she was a godsend. She was a rock. I appreciate her presence. It was just wonderful to have her. I think I wouldn't say I would have fallen apart if she wasn't there, but having her there made it so much better and so much easier for me to go through all of this. Just to know that I wasn't feeling alone. Anyways, um at this point I was still in contact with the other guy, because remember I told you it was two of them. So I was still in contact with the other guy, and like I was talking to him, and like he was like, how's this person, because now he's still working at the place, we aren't. And so I told him, and like I said whatever, and he was like, what? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that's how it is, and blah blah blah. So he was like, tell you what, I'm gonna get you, come on, let's go out, let's go party, let's go have some fun, let's get your mind off this. So basically he kind of helped me through it. But then he made it clear that, listen, I really liked you. I liked you from the jump. But when I saw that he was making a move towards you, like I hung back. And that's why I didn't make any moves, because he made a move towards you. So I hung back, and I was like, for reals? And he was like, yeah. I really don't want to be your friend. I want to be in your life, but I get it. You're. And I was like, okay, cool. We ended up hanging out, and then we became friends. This thing one and thing two. So this other person, this other dude, the other one from the friend group, we became fast close friends, and eventually we started dating. He was a rebound for me. Like, he was a rebound for me, but because he was so straight up with his words and whatnot, or I thought he was being straight up, I decided that, you know what, I'm not gonna use this dude like that. But when I found out everything later on, I should have just used him and just be on with it. I should have just used him and just be on with it. Now, news got back to this dude that this guy and I was talking, and he got upset with me. Like, he got completely pissed off at me, like angry and everything. So one day I was like, my guy, like, you the one who bounced for somebody else. Like, what did you expect me to do? And so we ended up talking later on, to where he apologized and say I don't even remember how we ended up talking. I don't remember if it was on Facebook or whatnot, because at this point I had deleted all his numbers. I had thrown everything away. Like I said, when something traumatic happens to me or something that hurts me happen, I just do my best to erase everything. So it's like you never existed. Like, you're not a part of my past. So he ended up apologizing and be like, it was on Facebook. He said he reached out to me on Facebook and was like, I'm so sorry, I was an ass. I didn't handle the situation well, and it's all my fault. And basically he had feelings for me, but he wanted the green card more than he would want something with me. And he was just upset that I moved on with someone else, or I seemed to move on with someone else. Oh my God. Like, anyways, I was like, fine, it's cool, whatever. Come to find out later on that he still hasn't had his green card. He still didn't get married to this woman. He did, however, get this woman pregnant, and he did have a child with this woman, and now they're separated. So you still didn't get what you want. So you ended, and then the woman wasn't me, because, like I said, you get treated like a king when you with me. That's how it is. You get treated like a king. That's how I treat you when I care for you and I say I love you, I treat you very well. And I make you feel like you're the world because I want to feel like I'm the world. So I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated. Hold up. I'm making dinner, y'all. If y'all are wondering, like, y'all probably say, oh, YouTube does long form videos. Why don't you just do this all in one video? I can't. It's a lot. And I have to break it up because I don't want to get too emotional. I want to get through this with as little emotion as possible, like with as little, tears as possible. So I'm breaking it up. And I find it a lot easier to consume in small portions. So and it's easier to tell the story in small portions. So that's the reason why. But anyways, so he ended up still didn't get that. He's still in Jamaica, moved back to his home parish, whatever. That's the last thing I heard. Nothing more. And I didn't care to know nothing more. I just went on with my life. So with this other dude, he didn't get the exact same treatment, but he got good treatment still. I didn't cook for him because I was like, in that time, I was like, I'm not going to cook for another dude. I'm not going to be taking care of another dude. I'm not going to be washing another dude's clothes. I'm not going to be doing that. I just wasn't there. This person scarred me for nothing. And so I didn't do none of that for him. Like, I wasn't about to do that. Like, if I went to his place to visit his place, I would tidy up because I would clean up because I do like to have a clean space. Not that he's messy or anything, but I'm kind of particular. So I set it in a particular way for my comfort, and that's it. But I've never cooked. I just always bought fast food. I've never cooked. I was like, no. One of the times he wanted me to cook, I'm like, baby, no, you ain't never gonna get that out of me. At first he was like, I don't want a woman cooking for me. I was like, I'm cool with that because I don't want to be cooking for you. And later on, as things progress, he was like, one day he would like me to cook for him. I'm like, hell no, you're not, no. And we're going to keep it the way you said it in the beginning. We ain't going to change nothing now. Like I said, I'm in my era where I'm not in my party girl era. I was never really a party girl. I was never a girl to run around. If it's just that person, it's that person, and that's it. I'm not, no. At this point, I was traumatized by the situation with the person I procreated with. So I am terrified of having another kid. So I have a copper T put inside of me to prevent me from getting pregnant because I am terrified of having another kid. I don't want to go through that again because men can leave and you as a woman can't. So that I'm very much traumatized about. So when it comes to people talking about, oh, have another kid, blah blah blah, you ain't talking to me. Like, no, because that right there it was a traumatic experience for me. It's still a very traumatic experience for me because I'm still living it and I haven't gotten over it. And I'm like, if I should have another child, not that I love kids, but if I should have another child, I would have to be rich. I would have to be stinking rich. I would have to be, I don't need nobody rich, right? If I should have another child. That way, if I do get pregnant, I don't give a crap what you want to do. Like, but anyways, because I've been through it with my kid. I've been through it with my son, and it wasn't easy. And God bless the hearts of women who do this and do it with more than one children. But it can be me. It can be me. I wanted to cut my womb out. That's how much I was traumatized. I begged the nurse, can we just take it all out? And she was like, well, what if you meet someone and get married and they don't have kids and you want kids? I said, I don't care. They go get kids from somebody else. I don't want no more. I don't want to do this again. Like, I didn't get to enjoy my pregnancy, and my pregnancy could have been enjoyable because I didn't have a complicated pregnancy. My pregnancy was really great. Like, the little moments that I had was wonderful. But due to the external environment with that person, it was shit. It was stress. It was up. And I just didn't want to do that again. I am terrified. I'm so terrified. Like, I never even thought of myself of having kids in the first place. And now that I am I'm traumatized. You don't even understand. But I digress. So now I'm with this dude and we are together hanging out, you know, being us. I don't think I've labeled it as, I don't know. I don't think I've even ever labeled it because somewhere inside of me knew it was like a rebound. Because it was too soon to be, you know, out and about with someone else in terms of a relationship. Of course, I was out of my relationship with that dude for 3 months before I started anything with this guy, because I do believe in cleansing the past person from you in whatever way you can. Um, so before I went with started anything with this dude, um, so yeah, started up and things started to get serious. So I started to lean into it because I'm, like I said, I'm not the girl to run around. So I started to lean into it and I started to get invested emotionally and financially. The worst thing a woman can ever do is get invested in a man financially. Like, that's my experience. If your experience is different, then whoop de doo and good for you. But my experiences, do not get financially invested in a dude. He can invest his cash into you, but you don't invest your shit into him. And I've proven it too many times for me not to listen. Too many times, because this wasn't the first time. This wasn't the only time. It was the first time, but it wasn't the only time. Anyways, I went ahead and he said he wanted something he wanted. And at this time I was making crazy ass money. At this time I was at the security job. I was good. I was good. I was making money. I was making bank. It was good. And so I was assisting him with some cash, and he was very happy with that. But then I realized that he started only coming around when he wanted cash. And I started getting kind of sus. Then remember I told you my girlfriend was living with me at that time, and my girlfriend had a friend that worked at the previous call center that I worked at. And that friend told that girlfriend that, hey, this dude, like, I know this dude. He's with such and such person. And such person is pregnant. And I was like, what? And like everything started to click when my girlfriend told me that, because this dude wanted to get me pregnant, because he was like, do you still have that thing? And I'm like, yeah, why the hell would I take it out? And I remember he was working so hard to get me pregnant because he didn't want to lose out on his sugar mama. And then he was talking mess about me. He was talking things that his friend could not have known if someone didn't tell him or he didn't know. Like, there was no way. There was too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence. I approached this guy about it, and this guy told me, ain't nothing like that. It ain't true, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, everything keep happening, whatever. Oh, wait. That was before the girl got pregnant. So he was like, no, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe the girl was pregnant, but it wasn't out yet. It wasn't outed yet that she was pregnant. So, then finally, he said nothing like that, blah, blah, blah. I left it alone. He gaslit the hell out of me. But I left it alone. I didn't have no proof. All I had was word of mouth. I left it alone. But I started realizing little routines, little things. And one of the things that he tried to do was to get me pregnant. So, I was like, hell no. That was around the time when he was starting to ask me to cook for him. And then he was pushing this narrative, like, wanted to be more than what we were. And I wasn't really wanting to be more than what we were. I was cool where we at. But, like, but don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And the girl I knew the girl too that he was with. Like, he introduced me to this girl when we first went out. But he introduced me to this girl as his friend, like, and she was okay with it. So I was like, and he introduced me as his friend, because at the time I was his friend. Like, and people used to seeing me and him and this other dude around, so nobody would even think anything. So it was a perfect cover. So he got perfectly covered. And So time went on, and this girl now fell pregnant, and now my girlfriend is coming to me again and telling me that this dude is not being honest with you because the girl is now pregnant. And that's when things started to click off. So that's when it came. Wait, did this dude really try to trap me with a baby? Like, I was like, hell no. Like, even more reasons why I want these ovaries cut out. Like, did you did you and all that? I was like, okay. So I went back to him. I waited. I watched him. I listened to him. I listened to his lies. I let him do what he was doing. And then at this point, I had stopped giving to him. I'm like, I ain't got it. I have it, but I didn't got it. And I tried to make a second attempt at the whole. Well, I wasn't making a second attempt at the jerk center situation. I started saving money at this point because even though I was helping him out with his situation, I was saving money for my situation because I wanted to open up like a little bistro type of thing. I'm not going to give my business idea out on here, but I had a brilliant idea, name, everything picked out, menu picked out, everything picked out, colors picked out, everything picked out. It's supposed to be centered around my baby, and I wanted to rent this little place. But the place that I wanted to rent, it was a nice location. However, the owner of the property was going through some legal stuff. Hold up. So I went to get me something to eat because I was making dinner. So it's ready, so I'm gonna eat. So yeah, let me pick up in the next section because I don't even remember where I left off.